Hi everybody and welcome back to Horse. This is voiceover me to intro you to the video because I did record this Monday, January 2nd, 2023, just one day before the trophies and collections pages were totally overhauled. I take you through the trophies I won in my game as well as the cards and other collections pages. This did get rather long, so I will work on a sped up version of just showing the different trophies and collections to make it easier for those occasions when you simply want to view this for a quick refresher about what these pages used to look like. I hope you enjoy the tour of what is now another piece of horse history, a piece that I will sorely miss, the trophies and collections pages pre-January 2023. So, starting with my trophy count. I have 312 trophies, and these have been pretty much around the 300 mark for a while now, especially since I've been trying to complete all of my Wander Spirit trophies. I do have all of these breeder trophies, so all of the different horse and pony and draft and donkeys, and then all the coats for each of them. Have all of those. Talented breeder, I do have my Master of the Manure pile maxed out. I work enough horses daily that I don't have any problems fertilizing. The only plant divines that I fertilize are my carnivorous divines. I don't fertilize the other two or three that I have. I have three other plant divines, and I would ordinarily have more droppings in this, but I sold a bunch a couple of weeks ago for an emergency cash fund. It's always nifty to have that on hand. So I have 58,699 droppings right now. Animal Friend, I have this one maxed out. I have 28 companions applied, at least, as they calculate it on here. Species, I have 16, all 16 species, all 56 breeds, all 56 coats for all breeds, 56 Pegasus, 55 unicorns. What unicorn breed are we still missing? We just had the Benet. Okay, I have to stop for a minute and think about this because I hadn't realized. I wonder if it's the Polish Konik. Do we not yet have the unicorn for that one? I'll have to look that up later because I'm not sure now. I hadn't noticed that. And then I do have the trophy for winged unicorn breeds. Date of birth trophy, I do have that one. All the animals trophy, I only have 28 out of 33. I'm missing 5 companions here, but the only companion I don't actually have at all on my account is the Ermine. These other 4 I have in my inventory. I just haven't applied them yet. Divine creatures, same for this one. The 2 that I'm missing, I have in my inventory. I just haven't applied them. The ghosts, I have all 3 of these. This one I had completed when companions were originally removed from the game because I had them applied or I bought the horses. So I either applied them myself or I bought the horses before companions were removed from the game, and then the trophies came back, the companions came back, and I had the trophy. So that one was nice. The Axolotl Dragon, the only one I'm missing, him I also have in my inventory, I just haven't applied him yet. Alabrijes, I have 15 out of 21. I don't know if I do have a couple of these in my inventory or not. I don't care as much about matching up these ones, the Alabrijes, the Darumas, the monsters, and the sea pinatas. I don't care as much about matching them up with coats or divines just because there's so many of them, and it's kind of difficult to match that many up. The Darumas, I have 16 out of 23. I have 0 monster eggs applied, but I do have about 4 or 5 of these in my inventory. Cat cysts. Yeah, the cats. I have 3 out of 8 of these, and these I am trying to match up with the Viserys cat Sith themed coats. But unfortunately, I don't have any other cat companions in my inventory, so I will need to get these so that I can apply them to those coats. Sea pinatas, I think I have all of these in my inventory actually, because it may have been possible that we got all of them for free during the pinatas event, so long as you completed the entire event. And then there were other companions that you could have gotten if you purchased the premium key, but those companions were not part of the trophy set, and I did not purchase the premium key for that event. So I don't have those companions, but they're not part of the trophy, so I don't care. Yggdrasil, don't have it. I don't have any interest in getting it still. Divines, I do have this trophy fully maxed. I have 128 divines out of the 55 required for the trophy. Wilds, I have 5 wilds, and I have 3 trophies for this. I'm just not interested in the wilds because I don't like the expiration date on their perk. Same for the chimeras. I only have 2 of these, and their perk works exactly the same as the wild, so I don't really care about them. Sleipnirs, I don't have any Sleipnirs. I don't really like these. I like them better before they had their art design, because for those of you that have been on the game for a long time, you'll have remembered that these are not what the Sleipnir looked like when they were first released. Also, they used to run away if it was either if you did not care for it for a certain amount of time, or if you did not log into your account for a certain amount of time, and it would run away. And if you owned a Sleipnir, somebody else owned a Sleipnir, they had the possibility of like claiming it. So when they would visit their own Sleipnir's page, then they would see an icon that you could claim another player's Sleipnir. It was really cool, but then people got mad that it ran off, and I kind of don't blame them, you know, if you spent passes on it, but it was still a cool feature, and we don't have that feature anymore. I have 3 out of 7 Balios. I do have duplicates of, I think, the Drought Balios. So I have like 4 or 5 Balios, because one day when I opened up Titans Challenges, I got really lucky and I won 2 or 3 of them in 11 Titans Challenges. It was really wild, and I didn't record it, and I was kind of disappointed because I thought my luck is never going to be like that again. I would like to get the Rainbow and the Nebula are my favorites. I would like to get those. 4 out of 5 Greyfell. One of them, or I should say 2 of them, are a mare and foal. I don't make enough Pandora's boxes to resurrect the ones that I have on the day that they die, so I don't really want to bother getting any more until I know I'm rolling in the Pandora's boxes. Water Divines, I have 4 out of 12. And fun fact, Mist was my very first divine, and I got her in, I think it was when she was originally released, so 2011, 2010 or so. And then of course Ocean was my second divine. Sapphire was my third divine. Falabellas, I have 4 out of 7, just not a set that I'm interested in. They're cute, but their perk is just kind of meh for me. Mythological Trophy, I have 5 out of 18. I would like to get the one Faxi divine that has the aging point perk. I can never remember which one it is. And Midas, I would like to as well for his Harmony Pack perk. Gemstone Horses, 9 out of 14. This would be a set I would like to fully complete, but when the others are released, at the time I was saving up for like a different gemstone or some other divine that I really wanted, so I just had to pass those other ones up. Solar System Horses, I do have this I have this trophy, and I did do a video the day that I got Sun, because I think Neptune was the final solar that I needed to complete the set, and I did do a video opening up the items to get him, and then of course when I got him, then I got Sun. I have 2 Wind Divines for this. I don't really like their perk either, but just because it does also expire. However, with them, because I think you keep earning gifts with them until they reach, I think it's 3,100 years old. So it's a really long time. You can get a lot of gifts from them in that time, but I just don't like the expiration perk. Fall and Winter are the only 2 season divine horses that I have. I do have the Chinese Horses Trophy. I am 1 divine away from getting my Prehistoric Divines Trophy. Hipparion, where are you? He's the one that I need. Horses of the Rainbow, I have 4 out of 8. And it was, I think, Brave Purple, Charming Red, and Devoted Indigo. These 3 were all in the Black Friday sales, but I had absolutely no luck this past Black Friday. I had enough passes saved up that I could have gotten 3 divines probably, but I was just not fast enough this year to get any. And I couldn't get any because by the end of the event, I was just so bummed that I could not get these. And of course, the rainbows were taking forever to show up. So I thought, well, you know what? I'll just get a different divine, such as a pastry. Well, not a pastry because I didn't want to spend passes on a pastry, but there was a couple other divines that I would have happily spent passes on, but I was just not fast enough to get anything this year. Legendaries, Bucephalus, and Zaldea are the only 2 that I have, but I do have some tack for Altair and Tormenta, maybe one of Amira, And I do have tack applied to some horses, but they have retired coats on them. And that was back before I really thought about being a retired coat collector. And of course, now I am never going to transform those horses into legendaries because they will lose their coat. Zodiacs, 4 out of 13. I don't really care about getting the rest of the set. Egyptian horses, I just like the design of these, so eventually I would like to complete the set. Won't be now because they've already been going through the rotation and I've missed some of them. The Celtics, I am 2 away from getting this trophy. And these two, Epona and Morgan, have not yet been released in the cycle. However, it's been over a month since we've seen a Celtic Divine. And part of that is just because of the holiday events, the Christmas packs. When are these two coming back? I would like to get this trophy before the trophies are removed. Plant Kingdom horses. I have 3 out of 8, but I do have 2 carnivorous and 2 caryopsis. Carnivorous, Chompy, aka Chompy, he's one of my favorites. I just like him for sentimental reasons. And his Hestia's gift perk is really nice too. And I got both of mine very cheaply, so they paid me back very quickly. The Maori Divines, I have 4 out of 10. I don't like most of their perks because most of them offer the individual 5th element items and I just don't really have a use for them. Nordic Divines, I wish these bubbles would go away. It doesn't help that I keep hovering over them. I have 4 out of 16. Most of their perks are decent. Their gifts are decent, but I just don't like doing rides with them. Falicorns, I have none. Love Divines, I have 8 out of 12. I used to have this trophy until the year that they released them in golden fleeces instead of hops. That was the year I lost the trophy, and since then I have not gotten them because I just don't feel that they're worth the golden fleeces, really. Not with the drop rate. Male pastry horses. I have 4 of these, but only 3 of them, chocolate croissant, Christmas pudding, and dark chocolate, do I have their mate for. So I can't breed the Lucombe at all. I can't breed him. I did towards the end of the Black Friday sales. I tried getting his mate in the auctions, but I just couldn't afford it. And for the female pastries, I do also have 4 out of 8 of these, but it's Black Forest Cake, who I do not have her mate for. There you go. I was not able to get the ones that I was missing from the auctions. And for the auctions, it was totally my fault. I just did not save up any equus for it because I was too busy spending it all trying to buy coats for my Wanderer Spirit trophies. This year, I'm going to save up for the auctions. Japanese Divines, 3 out of 17. I do have the Christmas Reindeer trophy. I have that one. Dragon horses, only 1. I just don't like doing the battles with them. Even though you can skip it by clicking off to the side of the page, it's still a hassle. However, I would like Kieran because he has the best design of the set. I'm sorry, but this set just kind of suffers in the design department. It's not one of my favorites at all. But Kieran, I really like that one. Grails, 3 out of 11. Christmas horses, 4 out of 6. Musketeers, 1 out of 4. I did get Aramis from the Toy Workshop event. And I also got, where'd the Grails go? The Grails. Oh, I got Galahad from the Toy Workshop event. So both of those divines I had 500 fragments for Galahad and 300 for Aramis, and I was able to finish off their fragment meters in the Toy Workshop event. That was pretty nice. And I did get the Christmas Divine from that event as well. I did have to spend passes, but it was only around 1,200 or 1,100. So it wasn't bad at all. 3 divines for a little over 1,000 passes. It was a good deal. Fairy Tale horses, 0. Precious metals, I have rose gold and silver, and I would love to get gold, but he was in the Christmas packs. Hopefully he'll eventually be released in a weekend offer. This is a set that I would like to collect, the entire set. I like the passes that they offer, and so far the designs I thought have been really good. Rose gold, I don't like the pink of her coat. That just doesn't look like rose gold to me. But when you're actually on its page and you click to collect the mineral ore, the color of the mineral ore is spot on pretty much for rose gold. I don't know why the coat is not. But if it wasn't for that, I do like the coat color. I just don't think it really looks like rose gold. Zonky Malie. I don't really care if I ever get these or not, honestly. And then all of the divine trophies. So that one took a little bit to get through. Now, getting to customization ace trophies. These are the ones that I've really been working on and spending all of my equus on the past year. 5 out of 12 trophies for golden apples. I get plenty of golden apples, but I just prefer to use them on the coat release for limited coats because these golden apples, the unlimited ones, are never going to go away. So whenever I do have extra golden apples for the month, I go and I apply some unlimited coats for this trophy. I do have the Retire Golden Apple Trophy maxed. I have all 12 trophies. You need 700 coats, and I have 1,251 retired coats. I have the Rare Retire Golden Apple Trophy maxed as well. Vintage Apples, 7 out of 12 trophies. And this is one that I have my own personal project for. I want to match up the Vintage Apple coat with the horse's coat and breed that I'm putting it on. And it needs to be my own homebred foal. So it can't just be a horse that, it'd be really easy to just go in the sales and buy a chestnut Overo Nakota to put a chestnut Overo Nakota coat on. That would be just that'd be too simple. There'd be no fun in that. So I'm going the long way, and it's taking a long time to get all of them. And also vintage apples, now that I want vintage apples, they're not offered in events all that often. And the piggy bank is not helping me either. Helios Rays, I have 6 out of 12 trophies for this. Helios Ray, again, I at first was not all that interested in them, but the last couple of years, I've had a lot of fun pairing up rays with my golden apple coat backgrounds and everything. And now that I want the trophy for them, I really want them, and you need a lot to max out the trophy. You do not need as many Owls Helios Rays backgrounds to max out the trophy for this. This one I have. Now, golden apple by color I have, by species I have, retired apple per species. I have that one. I have all of the Fifth Element trophies. I only completed these once I got that divine that gave me Fifth Elements because I was not going to spend all the passes to get to buy a Fifth Element coat in sales. So it was thanks to that divine that I finally completed those trophies. Bewitched Pumpkin, I have that one. Seal of the Apocalypse, the Magic Hat. I am missing the Werehorse for the double-sided medallion. He is the rarest coat. Book of Monsters, I am missing the Newt and the Yeti. The only reason why I don't have the Yeti is it is a fairly common coat, but because I'm missing the Newt, I just really haven't felt a reason to go out and buy the Yeti. Once I get the Newt, then I'll buy the Yeti. I have the Katrina's Brooch. And now we get into the Wanderer Spirit coats. These are a doozy to complete. There are so many of these coats, and it's because of the sheer amount of them that for the longest time, I was just not interested in collecting them. It was only this year that I want my trophies, and now I need all these Wanderer Spirit coats. Would have been so much easier if I had been collecting them along the way. So I do have the original Wanderer Spirits. I have the historic Wanderer Spirits. I only have one from the Greek Gods set. This one does not seem to be released all that often because whenever Wanderer Spirit is in the black market or if it's offered as a prize in an event, I do try to stock the sales for a few days because that's the best day to get either good prices or just to find coats that you're missing in the sales, is right after a Wanderer Spirit item has been released. I have the Seven Seas Wanderer Spirits. The Butterflies Wanderer Spirits, I only have 9 out of 16 coats for that. And this is one of the 3. This is when they started getting really crazy with all the coats that they had. But they did such a good job on the designs for this one. The background for this event was just gorgeous. I did play this one. I've been on for all of these events, but a couple of those Wanderers events I was on hiatus for or something, so I didn't actually play at the time. The environments, I do have all of these. Music, I am missing just 2. And these have been in the sales quite a bit lately, but they were all really expensive and on low GP horses, so I just didn't feel it was worth it. I have the Urban Legends, the Greek Creatures, and the Unicorn Wanderer Spirits. From the pranks, I only have 6 out of 11. Iris Coat, I need the Violet, and then I'll have this complete. Hiking Journal, 1 out of 4. Haunted Hiking Journal, 0, and the Inkwell, 0 out of 4. Now, I do have items in my inventory for all 3 of these, and for the Inkwell coats, I have at least 2. I would have had all 4 because I did get them from the events they were released in, but at the time they were released, we did not have a trophy for them, so I didn't care about keeping it, and now I'm kicking myself for not keeping it. But that's usually how it goes. And then we get into some of the trophies that you have to complete that task within. It has to be within the last 30 days. So these are the ones that you get and you lose. You have to work on trying to keep it. It's a little bit more difficult. Competitions, I have maxed out this trophy. I have all of the, we need to get rid of this inkwell bubble. Hang on a second, go away. There we go. I have all of the victory trophies. Rosettes, I only have 4 trophies for. Rosettes per horse, the 125 rosettes with the same horse in the last 30 days, only have 3 for. I just don't keep up with keeping a rosette level horse in my breeding farm. So the only 2 that really win rosettes for me on a regular basis are my Ocean and Cloud Divines. And even that's not, foolproof, obviously, because their skills change daily. And it's not every day that you're guaranteed that their skills will be rosette level. So it just kind of is what it is. I hover in this 4 trophies and 3 trophies most of the time. Grand Prix, I have this one maxed, all 12. Fountain, the only reason why I have 2 trophies for this is because Horse gave it to us. And I think it was something to do with something happened. Either the game was down for a day and a lot of players were not able to enter the Grand Prix. Some sort of glitch happened, and in both of those cases, as compensation, Horse just gave everybody who entered the Grand Prix or everybody who was online that week, I think they just gave them access to the fountain. That's why I have those 2 trophies. I have no trophies for distinctions. Senior Manager, I have 7 trophies. Rosettes, I have 7 trophies. I have two competitions that keep the rosette all the time. My trail comp, it wins and it loses it because sometimes it'll get stuck and I don't always have a horse of my own that has good enough skill level for me to enter. And then the other 2, I'm just having a really hard time trying to get their prestige up high enough to get the rosette for it. King of the Events, I have all of these trophies. So for Contest 1, 2, 3, and I do have the 15 years on the game trophy. Elite Player, I have 2 trophies for this. I believe these 2 rankings that I'm in top 100. One of them is, I do know that I'm in the top 100 for Western Equestrian Center Prestige. The other ranking, I don't think it's for overall. It might be for popularity maybe, because for EC popularity, if you get 1 or 2 visits, you're usually ranked in the top 100. It's not that difficult. Trophy Hunter, I have won 300 trophies, maxed it out. This only just recently happened because I know it says I have 312 at the top, but I think it's these trophies, isn't it, that doesn't actually count for this trophy. So I did max this one out finally, which is pretty neat. Seniority, maxed. Birthday, maxed. Space Traveler, maxed. So those are all of my trophies. And I do like the ability that we're able to click on these and then you can expand it further and you can actually look at these. It's just all really tiny, but I do like this ability. This is pretty nice. It's really fun. So we're going to now move on to card collections. So hopefully this hasn't been too boring. So far we're about 24 minutes in. Now the recent I think going back to Japanese cards, since the Japanese cards, they have not been updating the cards page. And now it makes me wonder if this update to the trophies and the cards has not been, okay, pun intended, in the cards for quite a while because these have not been available. Starting with the Cowboy cards, these were a physical card that I think you could only get these in Europe. I looked at the time in the States and we didn't have them. I think these were only available in Europe. But these were when donkeys were released. Daphne's Laurels. You guys remember Daphne's Laurels? That was an item. The Mustang, that's how we got the Mustangs. The Sleipnir, see, this is the old Sleipnir art, and I really like this. This is neat. And the Cowbra, we don't have the Cowbra anymore in International. There was only one, and the player's account, the only player who had the Cowbra, their account was deleted due to inactivity. So we no longer have the Cowbra on International server. The Olympus cards, for some reason, are no longer available. I do have some of those because players did share the promo code for those. So that was why a lot of us have the Olympus cards, even if we didn't get the cards. Players shared the codes for those. Yeah. The 2011 Christmas cards. Okay, this is where I do wish that you didn't have to have the card in order to find out the information for it, because what were these two? I do know there's an Apollo's Lair privilege on the game, and I think that's what this was from. But there's an infinity symbol on it. So is this one, it lasts forever? So do you have unlimited Apollo's Lairs for forever? That's pretty neat. It's not an item that I like, but you know, this is still pretty neat. We don't get cards like this anymore. They're just the same. Like, watch, once we get into the probably the horse trade Celtic cards, they're the same gift cards all the time. So these earlier cards events are really fun. And I don't remember these. This card gives you one polar bear. Polar bear allows you to find gifts during each of your trips to the North Pole. The more penguins and polar bears you have, the better the gifts you find. I don't remember the event that this went with. Something I'll have to Google. I have quite a few cards for it, but I don't remember how that event worked at all. I did have some of the puzzle cards, but I didn't actually complete any sets. I've had terrible luck with the cards my whole game life. I don't like this event because of how luck based it is. The 2012 Journey cards, this is when we got the Mars Divine. And the Eternal Wealth Privilege. So I do have the Eternal Wealth Privilege and then the other wealth privilege. One gives you 100 equus per day and the other gives you 1,000. And it's the other wealth privilege that everybody has. I think you get it during the tutorial or something, maybe. A bonus pack was a gold card. Oh my gosh. That's something they would try pulling now, probably. This is when we had diamonds. Daphne's Laurels again. This is when we got horseshoes. Western Saddle. And then more puzzle sets. I did get a couple of sets completed from this one. I wish we could still see the gift, just to see how the gifts have changed over time for the different puzzle sets, as well as a grand prize divine that we get now. The gift cards from 2012, Halloween cards. This one, I did not complete the entire cards, but I did complete all of the gift cards, which almost never happens. This is how I got my Namibian wild horse. Here's another privilege, Zombies privilege. With this card, you get one Pandora's box per month for 12 months. The gift is given out on the first of each month, providing you logged in the previous day. Advantage conferred by this card can be used only once. Well, that would suck. You could only get one of those. So I had one free Pandora's box. That would be really nice now. See, why can't we get these cards anymore? Now they're just the same. And they're not really that good prizes. Diamonds again. The seahorse. Turnips! Anybody else remember turnips? Wow. Is that a bronze? A piece of cloud is a bronze card. Wow. And we already looked at the puzzle cards. I like the design for these. These are quite nice. They do usually do a really good job on the theme and then designing the cards around the theme. Art cards, you'll notice in these next couple card events, I have little to no cards for, because it was around that time that the internet, you needed, a lot of people started getting high-speed internet, and I was still stuck with dial-up internet, and I could not play the game, and I also did not have much time to play at that time. So yeah, I didn't get to play the cards event. I don't have very many cards for them. An individual piece of Poseidon's tack. That was when we had Atalantes and Poseidon's pack separately. I'd have to look that up because I don't remember the full details of those tack sets. We still had turnips at the time. Oh, wait a minute. What was this one? Hold on a second. Art cards. Go back to art cards. Does anybody know why this Helios Ray and this Apollo's Lair, why do they have a highlight behind them? And the Helios Ray is a diamond. Did you get a free Helios Ray once a month for 12 months? And same for the Apollo's Lair? I'm curious about that. I would like to see that. And then, same for these gift cards. We've got Plutos' Parchment as a gold card, and it has a highlight behind it, and a Cronus' Timer. I wouldn't care about getting free Plutos' Parchments, but a timer once a month would be pretty nice, wouldn't it? Again, no more privileges for us. We don't get those in cards events anymore. I got a few cards from this, but not too many. World Equestrian Games. A couple. That's when we got one of the Faxi Divines. A Poseidon's Pack was a gold card. We almost never get that as a prize anymore. We still had turnips at the time. I see a turnip. I don't even remember. Did turnips give energy to our horses? I don't even remember. I think so, because for a while most full game schedules require the use of turnips. We had a Hermeswing Staff as a diamond card. Spring Rainbow cards. I did not play this event at all. I have no cards. So there we go. I like the background for them. Continent cards. Oh, this one I did play. Wow. Okay, this is during the era of the legendary horses, because for this event you got Tormenta's Tack. Also, I think this was the card event that Total Cretin tried. Well, she did complete it because it took it took over 100 passes. I'm very glad Horse changed the odds, although I think it took him a few years after that to do it. I don't know why it took him so long, because that's terrible. Nobody should have to spend over 100 passes to complete a cards event. Of course, in today's, I think that would be 10,000 passes. The Equestrian Jobs card. I think this might have been when I got my first Greyfell Divine. Could be, and this is when you start seeing the repeat of the gold card gifts. The Philosopher's Stone, Fifth Element, and Equus. Those are usually always gold card staples anymore. It gets kind of boring. And then I did complete several of these puzzle sets here. Next up is the Celtic cards. I do like this theme. You see, there you go. Philosopher's Stone, Fifth Element, and Equus. And a Cronus' Timer is a gold gift. Go figure. Apples. I really like these. I like the cat one. Look at the highlight on this. They did a really good job with this one. Yeah. Ooh, and I like the kind of pink tones with this one. They did a really good job with this one. Celtic cards. Wild West cards. Oh, I got all of the gift cards for this except for this wild. Go figure. And I did get quite a few of these sets complete. Look at the detail in the town set. Like, that's pretty neat. So I got some of those completed. Whoops, I skipped the New Zealand cards, sorry. New Zealand cards is after the Wild West cards. Another Greyfell Divine. And looky, the same gold gift cards. Again, it's pretty much just reused. I did get several of these completed. I might have done a video on this one. I don't think I got the Divine from it, though. Not counting the Greyfell, because there must have been a Jackpot Divine from completing all of the puzzle sets, I think. And then here was an interesting prize card. This gave you free VIP for, it was either a month or 10 days, but I do think it's stacked. However, it didn't matter for me because I didn't even get the card once. And there you go, the same gold prizes again. This was another theme that I liked. I really liked the cards for this one. For some reason, I must have had terrible odds, because look at all of these cards I'm missing. Although in all fairness, these three are diamonds. Those two are diamonds, so that might be why. See, look at that. I love that card. This whole set is nice here, but I just really like the blue tones in this one. Another really nice one. Thanksgiving cards. This one I did do a video on because this was how I got my Fifth Element Divine. I think he was released in this event. Same gold prizes. Pretty much same prizes for all the other ones. That Tiger Chimera is the only gift card I'm missing. And then because I did get the Divine from this, I completed all of the puzzle sets. And that's it, because the Japanese cards we don't have collections for. Although I think someone did point out that all of these recent cards events, the grand prize Divine was a Japanese Divine. And I had never noticed that. I just, we've had so many events over the years and they come so often that I can barely remember the last event that was on pre-prod. It was the Great Challenge, but All right, and let's actually look at these other collections, because I never look at these, but let's look at them now because these are supposed to be removed. And I did look at these the other day just as a look through, just kind of in preparation. And I'm kind of bummed that I don't look at these and that they are going to be removed, because some of these were a bit of a flashback, like the plants. I think this is the event that I won my Carnivorous from. And he was really cheap too. It was the last day of the event. I had not planned on getting him because I thought he was really creepy looking at the time. I didn't like all of the teeth and all of the heads. I didn't want him, but it was the last day of the event. And I thought, you know what? I'm really close to completing this. Let's just spend some passes on it. And I only paid 9 passes and a handful of diamonds, and I won him. And he paid himself back in about a year. So I was really happy that I got him. But looking through these, it's a walk down, haha, memory lane on some of these. This must have been Easter themed because of the chocolate eggs and the bunnies. I do wish they had put the actual theme for the event because Celebration 2017, I don't remember what this was. Was this, I don't even remember what the event was. What was the event? And the Divine, I don't remember. California Pinatas, this one I do remember. This was how I got my Sequoia Divine. And look, I totally forgot that's what these pinatas looked like. These were pretty neat here. I like all of the designs. The pinatas events are just not the same anymore. Same for the mazes. Ever since they got rid of points in the Horns of Plenty for the pinatas and treats and Titans challenges for the mazes, it's just not the same. Plants, September 2017. We had the plants event twice that year. And it's been a long time since we've had the plants event, actually. Elemental Mine, this was when I got Borvo. This was the first mine event that we had. And it was kind of terrible, but I think they've modified it for the better now. And I do really enjoy playing that game now. Potions 2017. It's also been a long time since we've had a potions event. I think this is when Fenrir, the Nordic Divine, was released. They had a really nice design for that event. Seasons mazes. Been a while since we've had a maze, but again, I don't like the mazes that much anymore. Memory Game 2018. What was the theme for this? I'm seeing equestrian items, sheep, a cauldron, and like spring. Was it during February maybe, around like St. Patrick's Day? I don't know. I don't know what the divine would have been. Icelandic hike. This was how I got my tier divine, the Nordic Divine. Taking a vacation. I always think of this as the trick or treat event because this was when we first had when you have to give kids an item. It was a trick or treat event. Was the first edition that we had of that, so that's just what I've always called it since. Cakes. What was this? I bet it was a potions themed event. And then bakery style, a bakery edition, probably with the pastry divine. That would be my guess. The Alabrije pinatas. I did get the divine from this. It was a Celtic divine, but off the top of my head, I can't think of what his name is, but he's the gray one and he's a Pegasus. And I think his main prize is an Achilles heel, but for some reason I cannot remember what his name is. The Dawn mazes. Dawn. I wonder if it was a Nordic Divine for the grand prize. I don't know. Hike in France. I don't remember what the divine for this one was either. I don't know. Memory 2019. Again, what was the theme with this? Because I'm seeing a lot of Egyptian items. Also with these items here, here's another walk down memory lane. I remember when this memory event came out and I first saw these tiles, I recognized these icons from the Hidden Object game from about probably 2015, 2016, when the Egyptian Divines were first released. And we only had a couple editions of that Hidden Object game because there were some problems with it and it was difficult for a lot of players to complete, and we haven't had it since. I wouldn't mind it coming back if they made some changes to it because that could be a lot of fun. Daruma Pinatas. I did not get through all of those. Oh, well, I didn't spend passes on it, so that would be why. And again, I think that was probably the first Pinatas event where they did away with points in the hops. Because once I figured that whole strategy out, I completed every Pinata event after I figured that out until they stopped doing the points in the hops. Because it was pretty easy for me to get hops. I have a lot of hops at the moment. I think I have almost 50 of them. Christmas mazes. I really like this. It's like a total tangled pile of garland and lights. Equestrian hike. They really like doing this event now. In all fairness, I like this event. What's the theme for this? I think this might have been when we had that divine that gives out an iris coat, but I can't think of what the name is. In all fairness, I also cannot pronounce it. This is the Nordic memory event. Okay, they reused some of these icons that were in the cards event. I see what you're doing. Also, this was in the potions event, but then these were in the cards event because this is that helmet icon card that I really liked. Yeah, I see that. Horse pinatas. This one I think was supposed to be an Olympic themed event. I don't know if it was supposed to be for the pinatas, but this was, during the summer of 2020 and we didn't have the Olympics. And because of that change, Horse ended up doing a shortened version of the pinatas last minute so that they could then do their Olympic event later on when the Olympics actually happened. Writer's Store. This must have been another trick-or-treat style event. Yes, I think it was because I remember that the kids would ask for these different outfits and everything. And then up to Memory 2021. What was the theme of this? I do not know. Could be anything. I won't guess because I don't know. Medieval mazes. This one, I wonder, I don't know what the divine would have been for this one. Sports pinatas. This might have been the Olympic event then. Makes sense. And again, we didn't have points in the hop, so I did get all of the collections for it. Memory 2021. This must have been a Christmas memory event. This was only this would have been last year. We really had the memory that was last year for the Christmas event. I remember one year we had the mazes. I thought that was last year. I don't know. I guess it was this one. Also, another memory lane trip for this one is that these icons here were decorations for the Christmas tree decorating promo. And that one was a few years ago. We did have that for a couple of years, and I really liked it. The designs for it, the graphics were really nice. The last year we had the Christmas tree decorating. I did not really care for the graphics as much. And then after that, we haven't had another tree decorating event. So, but these are the icons for it. And the final one, Labyrinth Mazes. This would have been Memory 2021. That would have been probably the beginning of this year, or last year in 2022, I would say. So that is it for the cards collection, my other collections, and for the trophies. I am glad I did go through those other collections because some of those I had totally forgotten about. And same for the cards, really. Hopefully if anybody has some of those privilege cards that I pointed out, if you know what they are, would you mind sharing those in the comments? Or I might try Googling them too. I can probably find the answer to that too, but I'm just curious about what they are. So I hope you guys enjoyed looking through these. Also, if you would like to keep a record of your own trophies and your own cards, I would suggest that you go and take screenshots of those just in case. Yeah, they do go through with the change, and trophies get a total change, the cards are totally changed, the gift cards will just plain disappear, and then my other collections will also disappear as well. We were told that that tab will just totally go away. So thank you all so much for joining me today, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.